I'm in the midst of applying for residence.
One moment, sorry. Marian, there's no sound.
It can take air out of my little brother's lungs.
What if it submerges my Bangladeshi land of love, magic, stories, and songs?
I'm afraid my hands can do nothing to stop the downpour.
I'm afraid it will leave us alone in a world of concrete and plastic.
Groom Gaia into a vacant void.
It will take the green and leave us in the dark.
I'm afraid it will bring out the worst in people.
Uprooting our families and communities.
Leaving our children to an irreversible nightmare.
Taking the beauty of each season from us.
Causing untold suffering that could have been prevented.
I am afraid.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie Ann. Can everybody hear me? Great. Awesome. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to our Explore Your Climate Story workshop. I am Mira Musank. I am a textile upcycling artist based in San Francisco Bay Area, the occupied land of Ohlone indigenous tribe. My design hub is called Fafafum Studio, where I regularly transform discarded fabrics and pre-owned textiles into one-of-a-kind bespoke garments. I'm very into slow fashion practices, circularity discussions, and climate art activism. And my goal is to inspire people to rethink their relationship with textiles and embrace a waste not, wear more mindset. I also publish a monthly newsletter titled Fafafum Studio Newsletter. I share my latest climate art projects, design collaborations, industry insights, and many more to further promote mindful, responsible textile consumption and material reuse. And ever since I started the journey, I love to collaborate with like-minded individuals and organizations who are at the forefront of climate actions. And that journey actually leads me here, sharing space with all of you, and also to be connected with David and Carrie Ann, and they invite me to be part of this Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Week, and I very much appreciate them for involving me in this year's endeavors, and I would like to give them the space to right now to introduce themselves. Carrie Ann, David.
Right, so I'll first thank you very much, Amira, for joining us. This is our second run today, and the first was very early for you. So thank you for that. I am the co-director of Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Week, and I just put my information into the chat, and I guess my medium is using the internet and email and other things.
And hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Ann. I work with David at the Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Week, and I'm also a practicing artist. So I do mixed media painting and sculpture made with recycled materials. I call it trash art. And I am super excited to have you all here. I'm also going to be doing like the tech support and managing the digital gallery. So as part of today's session, you'll have the opportunity, if you want to make some art. And we look forward to featuring your art if you're interested on our website, along with art from other participants from all around the world. We had a very worldly group with us this morning, and I believe so now as well on the call. So if you have questions about that submission process or the logistics of that, or any logistics or issues during the Zoom at all, just reach out to me.
Awesome. So let's get things started. Get yourself comfortable. I'm pretty sure some of you are already comfortable and you're ready. You may have a nice selection of materials around you. You may have a more lean and focused space. Whatever it is, get cozy, get comfy. And for this hour, I would like to ask for your support. If you do not mind turning on your camera during the act of creation and being creative, please do so. I'm a visual person, and seeing your body language gestures, even if it's just a nod, will help me get energized and loop the energy back to you all. I know some of you are already doing that, so thank you very much for being proactive about it. But only do so if you are comfortable. Okay. So setting up expectations. So before each set of prompts, I will show you a video lasting either 1 or 2 minutes. They will feature a mix of real life footage and virtual scenes. The first clip will mostly be real life, and the last two will incorporate more of the recordings that I made in the virtual reality scenes that I curated. And then after the video, we will give you a set of prompts, and after which you will have 5 to 10 minutes to create in your own space, contemplate at your own pace, and create whatever comes to mind. You can either work on one continuous body of work through all 3 sets of prompts, or you may start anew each time. It's up to you. Of course, housekeeping things please keep your mics on mute so everyone can get in the zone with their own creations. But at any point, if you have a question, want to give verbal responses or feedback, or want to share a thought with the group, you are most welcome to use the chat. And then whenever possible, whenever applicable, I will also post a link to the virtual reality room in chat, just in case you want to move away from this Zoom screen and explore the virtual scene while you are creating, you can do so. And then also at the end of this retreat session, we will open it up for Q&A, and we can stay after the hour as well if people would like to hang out and chat. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, let's get into a contemplative yet creative mood. So we are celebrating our sharing of space and time together in this virtual workshop. So let's take some time to relax and take a deep breath. Close your eyes for just a few seconds and listen to your own breathing. And as you do so, let me recite these words by the great American writer, Toni Morrison. This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That's how civilizations heal. So let's start our session with the first set of prompts, nature and us. How do we describe our relationship with nature? How we see our existence within nature that surrounds us informs how we approach climate issues. How close are we to nature? Are we part of one being, or are we separate entities? and we see the issue as nature needing our help. So let me share with you the first video. All right, and that is the first prompt, the first clip. So for this first set of prompts, I'd like to invite you to contemplate your relationship with nature around you. On the clip we just saw, I shared with you glimpses of the North California nature, the region where I live. And I find it fundamental to be connected to nature frequently as I work on my climate artwork. So treat this first set of creative prompts as a warm-up. It's a chance for us to contemplate and holding nature in your mind as we will get the juices flowing with a set of quick prompts. And with that, let me share you the prompts right now. Sharing it on the screen. Okay. First thing is 3 to 5 words that come to mind when I think of nature around me. The slides will loop, by the way. 3 to 5 words describing my relationship with nature. How close am I with nature? Then 3 to 5 things that I love about nature that I want future generations to also have. Anything that comes to mind when I think of how I affect change in nature around me. Anything that comes to mind when I think of how nature around me affects change in me. Does my existence in nature inform how I approach climate solutions? And do I see myself as part of nature or as separate beings? I will leave these slides to loop here. And then for the next 5 minutes, you are free to contemplate and explore your responses in any creative medium that you choose. We will be available in chat if you have questions. And if you want to rewatch the video, I will put the YouTube link there as well. 2 more minutes. All right. Okay. I hope that start getting your juice going. So with that, let's start with the second set of prompts. It is titled The Act of Repair. How do we decide what deserves to be repaired? Oftentimes, developing climate solutions revolves around repair or replace. Repairing a broken part or system requires a change of perspective or mindset. We may have been encouraged to accept planned obsolescence of objects and to discard things we no longer use. We can also draw parallels on how we are thought to connect with people and our environment in these regards. For example, how do we act around so-called broken people? What do you do when you see a struggling seedling or something that counts as weeds on the sidewalk? Our way to interact and treat the world eventually determines our sincerity and effectiveness in our So it's been more than 5 years since I repaired that Uniqlo shirt, and I continue to wear it from time to time. And the last time was a month ago, as shown on the last 2 photos on the video you just saw. This second set of prompts invites you to think about your act of repair. So it might be a parallel of repairing a broken part of the system requires a change of perspective, like I said, right? But just it's also a metaphor on how repairing a tattered fashion shirt is something like that too. It might not make a logical sense in the current system, but it's a radical choice anyways. So try recalling some memories when you actively repair something. Maybe it's also about mending a piece of clothing or textile. Maybe it's about repairing a broken relationship, challenging an outdated rule, and proposing solutions to better your community, or anything big or small that associate with a state of mending or healing, reparation. So Carrie Ann will recite this set of prompts, and I will also put them in chat as she speaks. Carrie Ann, over to you.
Thank you, Mira. As you look at your canvas, where does your memory begin? What moment does your medium recall for you? Coax your memory onto your canvas. Where in your memory is there opportunity for repair? How do you respond? In what ways can your materials mend? How many layers are there to your story? What complicates your process? Where does healing begin to emerge? Guide me through the details. Where is the aftermath of your repair? Was it worth it? Have you reaped the rewards in your act of repair? What did it cost you? I'm going to reread the prompts a couple times for us. As you look at your canvas, where does your memory begin? What moment does your medium recall for you? Coax your memory onto your canvas. Where in your memory is there opportunity for repair? How do you respond? In what ways can your materials mend? How many layers are there to your story? What complicates your process? Where does healing begin to emerge? Guide me through the details of your memory. Where's the aftermath of your repair? Was it worth it? Have you reaped the rewards in your act of repair? What did it cost you? As you look at your canvas, where does your memory begin? What moment does your medium recall for you? Coax your memory onto your canvas. Where in your memory is there opportunity for repair? How do you respond? In what ways can your materials mend? How many layers are there to your story? What complicates your process? Where does healing begin to emerge? Guide me through the details of your memory. Where is the aftermath of your repair? Was it worth it? Have you reaped the rewards in your act of repair? What did it cost you? We'll take a few minutes to sit and work.
We will reconvene in about 8 minutes time. And I will also post the links to both the YouTube video. Oh, actually, Gary already did that. If you want to rewatch it, as well as the link to the VR room that has the garden scene that where it's showing at the beginning of the video. 2 more minutes. All right. Let's pause our act of repair right now. And we'll start with the last of the 3 prompts. Wow, time really flies, isn't it? So for this last set of prompts, the title is about exploring your climate story, as is the title of this class. So many things will capture your eyes, but only a few will capture your heart. So I'd like to invite you all to be courageous in your plight, to develop your own approach to climate issues that capture your heart. The journey might be gruesome and challenging, but you have the power and creativity to make the fight worthwhile for you as you learn and grow along the way. Remember, no small step is too small. Remember, there are many like you. How do we nourish and encourage each other to keep fighting the good fight for the people and planet? So I will share with you my climate story, and I hope it will inspire you. You hear the sound? As you can see, the textile waste is a core part of my climate story. I started the Gathered Cloths project in 2021 using exclusively sewing remnants with the goal of gradually showing what happens when textile waste growth is left unchecked. It is already a devastating global issue, yet largely unseen in the global north countries like the United States. The project itself has gone through 8 iterations, each time involving a growing number of ruffled cloth to assemble. The 9th iteration is actually coming up in a couple of weeks. So, but for our class, for this third and final set of prompts, spend a few moments thinking about the one climate issue that you are passionate about. Why is it important? And how have you approached it so far? Has your contemplation from the previous 2 prompts inspired you to rethink your approach or reaffirm your approach? We will put the prompts for this portion in the chat, and you can use the reply button on each prompt to add your own story and response. Together, our stories weave a new collaborative source for inspiring climate action. So the first one is, which one climate issue really resonates with me? How does it affect my daily life? Why is it important? When I first got exposed to this issue, how did I respond to it? How do I process that challenge now? What changed? Last but not least, how do you use your unique creative drive to raise awareness about this issue and connect with others to encourage actions? So let's spend 10 minutes narrating your climate story in the medium of your choice. Feel free to reply to each prompt on chat. Meanwhile, I will share my screen showing the virtual scenes shown in the video so that, at least you get some visual stimuli. The first 5 minutes, I will show the lake scene, and for the last 5 minutes, I will show the desert scene. Okay, 1 more minute. All right, everyone. As you are doing the last few finishing touches and pause your work at this time, once again, I'm inviting you all to take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a little bit. And let me again repeat the words by Toni Morrison that I recited at the beginning of this class. This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That's how civilizations heal. That passage continues to energize me from time to time, driving me to break through new boundaries and pursue multidisciplinary collaborations in my work. And I hope it also energizes you. And it is that drive that leads me to connect with David and Carrie Ann and curate this workshop today as part of Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Week. David, Carrie Ann, thank you so much for having me. And I really love that I get to spend the time with all of you today. And I hope you get to explore your own climate story with this workshop. And thank you so much for being part of this Make Climate an Art class vision. Thank you for having me. So while I do that, let me put my links again on the chat just so that we can keep in touch. And while I do that, Carrie Ann, I think some people came in a little bit late. So would you explain once again how people can take part in the group climate art exhibition?
Yeah, thank you, Mira. Thank you so much for putting together and curating a really inspirational event for us. It was a lot of fun working with you. For everyone who's joined us today, I mentioned at the beginning, and I'm going to reiterate, so we are hoping to put together a digital gallery on the Worldwide Climate and Justice website, where we hope to feature the work that you've created either in this space or over the course of the next week or so. So you have time, you can continue to work and develop what you've started today. Hopefully, you'll find time to do that. We'll also send out the recording. And if you did not see it, there's a web page that features all of the links that we looked at today. All of the prompts and things that we've talked about will be on that web page. So you can come back to all of this and re-immerse yourself as you continue to work on your pieces, or you are also welcome to just submit whatever you created during this time that we spent together now. So the form is quite short. It's going to ask for some contact info and then some general info about the piece that you are submitting. I do want to note, if you choose to submit something for the digital gallery on the website, you should expect that the Worldwide Teach-In will, one, have it on our website, and two, we might feature it on social media, on LinkedIn or whatnot. In those situations, we would denote that obviously it was created by you, which is why that contact information is so important. If you have any questions about this, if you are a professor or community leader and want to take this recording to your class and do a session with them or send it to them or whatnot, or you have other questions about using this recording in your community, please reach out to me. I'm happy to connect you with materials and make that accessible to you. And if you have any questions about the submission form, it'll also be on the webpage in the follow-up email, included in lots of places. You can find it. But if you have any issues or anything comes up, I'm happy to help.
Thank you, Carrie Ann. David, would you like to add anything?
I'll just add my thanks and also to let each of you know that we, throughout this week and even next week, we will be having a variety of additional virtual activities and in-person activities and hybrid activities around the world. And Carrie Ann can, or maybe they already have put in our blog link for everybody so that you can join other virtual events. And so I want to really both thank Carrie Ann and Mira. You two have worked together very hard. I knew each of you separately, and I knew that once I got you together to create a virtual event here, that it would be fabulous, and it's exceeded my expectations, which were very high. So thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. High praise. And I really enjoy working with Carrie Ann as well. We keep bouncing off ideas and, and definitely will not be able to create this workshop today if not for her as well, if not for her support. So thank you so much, Carrie Ann, for helping me making this vision come true and having all of you here. So we're just opening the floor. If you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you want to share maybe what you are working on, in progress things. So the floor is yours. Let's make sure they can share their screen or whatever. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyone?
I'll jump in real quick. I was inspired to pick up some freeform crochet project that I've been wanting to do, but here we had time, and so I delved into my basket. And crochet was one of the first fiber arts I learned from my grandmother, and I think you can do freely and quickly. So I don't know what it's going to take shape into. I saw that glimpse of that you had a very ruffly scarf. That was very cool. So I was kind of riffing on that. And these are natural dyes from some plants, or mostly from around my area, some of which are things we would weed. So like sour grass is really going crazy right now in the Bay Area, and you can get beautiful, very strong yellow from that. So grass in it. Yeah, and it works. It works without a mordant. You just simmer the sour grass, and it'll dye pretty much any natural fiber. Some bright yellows, and then you can add baking soda to make it more of a gold color. And it's something a lot of people are weeding right now, so it could be going into compost, but you could get color and then you can put it in compost after.
That is beautiful. I did not know. So see, something new to learn every day. I am weeding actually as soon as latest as like yesterday morning, and I was sneezing up a storm and all this and that. The bitter cress is gonna be the bane of my existence. But yeah, I did not know that sour grass can yield that such brilliant yellow and gold color. It's amazing.
Yeah, so fun. So maybe that will appear in your work, Mira. I was so inspired by the textiles.
Oh, thank you, Nishaga, and I hope you also consider being part of our group exhibition as well. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Absolutely. Fred, do you want to say something?
You have to unmute Fred.
Oh.
You just muted yourself again. You can get the
Am I
technology.
unmuted now?
You're good. Yeah.
Okay. First, I'd like to say hi, David. It's been a long time since we've had a chat. Yeah, this is interesting. I posted my story in chat, so I'm not going to go repeat it. But I first learned about climate change in an interdisciplinary undergraduate course, Man and the Environment, in 1969, when Professor David Hutchinson had us read some of the very first papers that Charles David was doing with Keeling was doing with the first 8 or 10 years of the Keeling curve. And I had a chance of seeing him last year at Hartwick College's homecoming, and I told him was one of the students that paid attention, because I've been in this game for a long time, professionally with climate change since 1986, I think. But I'm just really pleased. I just did a presentation at the American Meteorological Society a few months ago on, I think the title was Climate Change in the Crosshairs, talking about what's happening across this country and other places in the world also, about the influence that climate deniers are exerting on education programs in their home states. And it's downright frightening. I'll leave it at that. But if anybody wants a copy of it, my email, I don't know if I put it in there, but I'll put it up on the website. But this is so important what you guys are doing in terms of trying to get the word out that how dire the situation is becoming, both from a physical impact to the environment, but also from the political fallout from a massive turn to the almost devastating right political part of the spectrum. So anyway, but thanks and kudos for what you guys are doing. This was really informative. So I'm glad. Matter of fact, I think some of the BARD work was actually included in my presentation that I gave at AMS in January. So keep up doing the good work, guys.
Thank you so much, Fred. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your story as well.
Yeah, can we post? I got my artwork is hanging on my porch. I put it up at Thanksgiving. It's that big banner of the 100 years of global warming, going from blue stripes to red stripes. And I put at Halloween, I put 3 human skeletons on it, and my neighbors have said, "Don't take it down." And it's a really good photograph. So that's where most of my artistic work now comes in the photographs that I take. So, but I'll post it someplace if anyone wants to put it up for your benefit.
I'd love to see the Halloween banner. I think my scariest Halloween costume was I dressed as a globe, but I gave myself like a big plastic patch and I put a bunch of flames all over it. And I was like, I'm the scariest thing you could be, climate change. I would love to see that, Fred. Please definitely send a photo.
Yes.
Well, you ought to put out a call next October for people to do likewise at Halloween and say, "Hey," I would do it like this. And please excuse the way I'm going to say this. Hey, this shit's getting scary.
It does. It does. It needs to be said. I have to leave
because I have to go to a couple of medical appointments this afternoon, and one of them is I'm transporting a friend of mine, and then I have something for me. But anyway, again,